So you finally got an entirely new book of the Testament for me today. Yes, sir, I do. That one from my cousin Ezra I told you about. Oh, right. So is your cousin an aspiring novelist or something? He's a goat herder. Ah, perfect. All the qualifications one needs to contribute to this most holy of tomes. You know it, sir. So this one begins right where we left off at the end of 2 Chronicles, where you had God suddenly wrap things up by sending his precious children into exile yet again. Yes, but only after Jerusalem had been meticulously destroyed, and the temple sacked for the umpteenth time, of course. Of course. So, yeah, after he allows his most sacred temple to be defiled yet again, God allows his chosen people to be almost entirely exterminated by heathen infidels, including young men and women, the elderly and infirm. Including young men and women, the elderly and the infirm, yes. Sweet, that'll show the world who the one true God is. He's holding a masterclass in how to display divine favor and providence is what he's doing. God is so good. Always. In fact, God keeps his precious children in bondage and their nations lying desolate for the next 70 years. Oh, keeping your precious children in bondage and their nations lying desolate for 70 years is tight. Yeah. Now, after all the wonderful things God has done for his chosen nincompoops, isn't it going to be hard for the Israelites to come back from such an existential catastrophe? Oh no, it's going to be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yep. See, my cousin Ezra thought it would be cool if God stepped in and mind controlled this Persian king Cyrus. Interesting. And make Cyrus favorably disposed towards the survivors of God's near genocide of the Israelite people. Intriguing idea. All right, God, usurp King Cyrus' free will. Into the dumpster it goes. But won't that establish that God can easily step in and influence Israel's enemies in their favor anytime he likes if you do that? Hey, let's not think about that at all, okay? Sounds like a plan to me. Great. So, with Israel's captors now forced against their will to aid them, Israel starts rebuilding the kingdom their God so lovingly shattered. Fantastic. Now, one of Cyrus' first moves will be to return the artifacts the Babylonians looted from the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. Oh, is there a pedantic accounting of those items included in there? You know it, sir. We've got a list and everything. Nice. There were 30 gold bowls, 30 gold dishes, 30 silver pans, 1,000 silver dishes, 410 matching silver bowls, and 1,000 other various articles. Gosh, it's so important to know this information. It is. So in all, there were 5,400 articles of gold and silver. Wait, 5,400? Yes? You realize that doesn't add up, right? It doesn't? No. All the dishes and bowls and other articles you just listed adds up to exactly 2,500. Oh, wow, you're right. Whoops. Whoopsie. Dadgum, 5,400 isn't even close. How the heck did you come up with a total that wrong? I don't know. I even used my trusty abacus. Oh, I've heard about those. Very cool. This beauty cost me 2 drachmas. That thing is the very pinnacle of technology in these ancient barbaric times. I hate it when you do that. Of course, you have to actually know how to use one. And I absolutely do not. You know what? This is going to work out great. How so? Because they'll never miss this nice little piece. Where the hell did you get that? It, fell off the back of a truck. Oh, put that away. And, I'll go back and fix all that math later. Make a note, it's 29 silver pans now. Friggin' klepto. Did you change it to 29? Yes, I put down 29. And you changed the overall total to 2,499. Oh, I said I'd do all the math later, okay? Don't forget. I won't. So anyway, next we do an accounting of who's actually left from a population that once numbered well over 1 million people. And how many is that? 42,360. Jesus! That's less than 5% of the pre-genocide population. Our God is an awesome God. Well, he's certainly thorough, if nothing else. And really, how bad off could they be? I mean, they still have over 7,000 male and female slaves. What, they still have over 7,000 slaves? Well, things aren't entirely bleak then, are they? They are not. God is good. Always. In fact, he is just so good, I think we should add a little song in praise of Yahweh when they start to rebuild the temple. Good idea. Really reinforce the idea of Yahweh's mercy and abundant goodness. Okay, how's this? With praise and thanksgiving, they sang to the Lord. He is good. His love toward Israel endures forever. Perfect. Who could argue with that? I mean, Yahweh's actions resulted in only 95% of his precious chosen children dying. I know, right? And the traumatized, destitute survivors languished for only 70 years as slaves in a foreign land. And they still had their own slaves, no less, making this whole banishment and genocide thing seem like kind of a nice vacation. Boy, the more I think about it, the less I want to hear any whining from the Israelites about any of this. Agreed. What is it? The slaves of the enslaved Israelites. What about them? Well, they had no say in the blasphemy and idolatry the Israelites practiced. Right. Should they be suffering the consequences of their master's actions? What the heck are you on about? Never mind, I don't know where I'm going with this. So the Israelites get back to the temple rebuild, and some local enemy nations ask if they can help. Enemies want to help. That's odd. Is God mind controlling them? There doesn't seem to be anything about that. So whatever their motivations are, the Israelites tell them, nah, we're good. We just want to rebuild the temple ourselves. And that kind of pisses off the local enemy nations. Okay, so for the next few chapters, we go into the obstructions and red tape and political chicanery these locals hurl into the Israelites' plans. Oh, that could be interesting. It's not. Well, alrighty then. Yeah, the temple building stops and starts and stops again under various different administrations over the course of many years. Honestly, these chapters read like the minutes from a city council meeting, and your cousin Ezra thought this would be compelling. But eventually, God steps in again and uses his Jedi mind tricks again on the new Persian king Darius. Free will, go to hell. Absolutely. And the puppet Darius cuts through all the red tape and makes sure the Israelites receive anything and everything they need. Well, great! Having God meddle when you need him to makes all of this so much easier to write. We should call it Deus ex Deus as opposed to Deus ex machina. Have you been hanging around the Romans again? I can't help it, their Latin is just so damn sexy. I don't think those words have ever been put together in a sentence before. Someone had to say it. So yeah, the temple gets built, they slaughter a ton of livestock, and they celebrate Passover. Fantastic. Now comes the part of our story that gets a little bit sad. Oh no, what happens? Well, the titular Ezra shows up. Titular. Stop it. Sorry, so what does the titular Ezra do? Well, let's just say my cousin is kind of full of himself, and he doesn't want for ethnic pride either. What does that mean? He's not a fan of mixing the races. He's one of those. In a big way. So he pretty much inserted himself into this story. Right what you know, I guess. You guess right. Our boy Ezra here is just appalled at how much God's chosen nincompoops have intermarried with the local infidels. How appalled is he? He's so appalled, he pitches a total fit, tearing his clothes, pulling out his hair, and then finally plopping down on the ground like a little child. Sounds like another win for gentle parenting. Oh yeah, my cousin is a real favorite at family get-togethers, not. So what does Ezra do after his whittle tantrum? He bemoans the Israelites having to live in a land polluted by the corruption of its people, by their detestable practices. They have filled it with their impurity from one end to the other. Isn't this the same godforsaken armpit of the planet that God gave his chosen people as the promised land? It is. Wow. And now that so many Israelites have taken wives from the surrounding pagan nations, something has to be done. I know, have God, abundant in patience and love, instruct the foreign spouses on what is expected of them. Now that they're married to members of the chosen people, these heathens need to be brought up to God's holy standards. Well, in detail, God himself could cite the practices he finds detestable and then demonstrate proper behavior and rituals. Using his power to move their hearts, he could then gently yet firmly guide them to a peaceful assimilation and a beautiful orchestration of transcendent harmony. That does sound like a great idea. But, nah. Gotta stick to the script. Ezra tells the people to send their foreign wives and the children that they had with them away. Away, yes. What the hell does that mean? Away. Yes, but where? Oh, very unclear. They are to, separate. If history's any guide, those women and children are either going to starve to death or end up enslaved. You realize that? Meh, God could probably use a few more angels in heaven anyway, am I right? Aw, that's kinda nice.